Hello, everyone. How are you all? I hope all of you are doing really well. And I'm assuming that most of your important examinations would have been over by now. And you would be focusing on CLAT and other law entrance examinations only from now. Not only, but per se, that should be there in your focus, right? So, my name is Kumari Pooja, and I am here again with another set of legal updates for you all. I received a lot of mails. Basically, the customer support of our institute received a lot of mails regarding these legal updates, wherein we were being asked about as to a lot of queries with regard to legal updates. What are these? How do we prepare about it? How to go about it? And how to understand as to what all things in the newspaper has certain legal background to it. So I will take all those queries in the upcoming week, right? I'll take a live session very soon wherein all these queries would be taken care of, right? Now, and another thing is, if you have any question still, in that case, you can write in the comment section below, right? Because I keep checking the comment section. So if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to clear it out, right? Be it conceptual, be it strategy related, be it anything, just put it in the comment. All right, so let's start with today's set of legal updates. First one being a bit interesting one. You must have, if you're reading newspaper, by now you have gotten an idea that there is this rift, there is this debate, right? A heated debate that is being going since a long time in almost a lot of editorial sections regarding the tiff between the governor and the state government in Tamil Nadu. So now there's a lot of drama. I mean, there's a lot of things that are already going there. There are a lot of things that are being written in the newspaper. However, that is not our concern. We should read it, but we must adhere ourselves to the legal part of those areas, right? The legal background of such news becomes important to us. Why? Because it concerns with governor, and governor is a constitutional body. Now, there's a tip here. Whenever you see anything in the newspaper that concerns with anything related to constitution, it automatically becomes important for your examination, right? Because constitution is something that is a bit very important for your exams perspective. If you would see previous year question papers of various law interest examination, you would always see questions surrounding constitution, right? So since governor is a very important body under constitution, along with president, both of them almost go hand in hand. So whenever you read anything about governor, always ensure that you read something about it in precedence line also, right? Most of the time you will find that the provisions, the roles, the functions almost remain similar, right? So it will get a bit convenient for you also, and the coverage would also be good. Now, first thing is here that talking about the governor, there are certain powers that are being given to governor. One of them is under Article 176, wherein governor can address in the very first day of the legislative assembly. So addressing means giving a particular speech. Now, what this governor did was he went and there was a speech that was given to him by the state government, right? So basically state government provides a sheet of paper with all the speech, with all the text that a governor is supposed to speak about in the assembly, right? And this governor chose to omit some of the paragraphs from there, and that is the core area of this entire controversy. Okay, so now state government is saying that, listen, you are not supposed to delete or make any alteration to the speech that we provided you, right? Now there were certain omission that was done by the governor. First one was about the Dravidian model of governance that was to be mentioned, and he did not mention that. And he also skipped a portion wherein he had to talk about how Tamil Nadu is a haven of peace in order to attract the tourism in Tamil Nadu, right? And he skipped that also. Now, agitated by this, now state government has gone to president's rescue, and now they are asking president to take certain action here against the governor, right? Now, why this has become important to us? Because we need to understand that there is a provision under Article 176 wherein governor addresses the assembly, right? For the first time. Not yet. There are other subheaders. There's a convention. Convention means what? There are certain practices that are being followed since a really long time. It's not written anywhere. So basically, unwritten rule, right? So there are certain conventions in our democratic system. So one of them is that governor should not uh, omit anything or alter anything or alter any message that is given to him for the assembly by the government, right? So this has been a convention. Everyone was following it before, so it is getting followed even now. So the question is this convention a law? Right now, that question has arose here, and there are a lot of debate which is going on around this. There are some people who are saying, of course, since it is not a law, it was just a convention, it can be violated, it can be tweaked as per the governor's point. There's another side which is saying that it would ultimately cause a trust deficit, basically trust deficit between governor and the state government, which will seep into the constitutional crisis and which will again seep into the trust deficit of public. Now, public will stop believing or trusting the institution of the state government of the governor. Right? So there would be a trust deficit, which means it will ultimately cause some misfunctioning among them. Right now, that is what is important for us to know. There can be a passage that you get in your examination pertaining to this, right? Governor, with regard to the governor's power and how it plays out with the state government's point, right, from their perspective. So that is the point when we need to focus upon. Baki, there's a lot of politics, I mean, a lot of political arguments that you will find in the newspaper. Interested? Please go ahead, read that. As an aware citizen, you should be aware of it. But as an aspirant of law entrance examination, you must adhere to only legal part of it, right? The next one is an interesting one. You must be aware of it that our Supreme Court is quite progressive and quite active when it comes to the rights of LGBTQ, right? Few years back in the Navdeep Singh Johar case, the Supreme Court decriminalized it. However, now another question has arose, wherein now Supreme Court has taken an active position. Okay, what they have done is they have taken all the cases from all these high courts that are pending with regard to their marriage, right? LGBTQ marriage. Now, in that case, all those cases have been taken up by the Supreme Court. And now Supreme Court is saying that now we will decide how to go about it, whether we should give this power or whether these rights to them to get married, or whether we should not. Now, talking about the marriage is something that comes under personal law, right? We have Hindu Marriage Act and other laws, basically religion related mostly, right? Now, there is this neutral version of it also, which is secular in nature. That law is called a Special Marriage Act, right? Now, when we talk about the marriage rights of the LGBTQ, we will consider it under Special Marriage Act 1954, which is again, since it is a gender neutral law, gender neutral plus religion neutral also, because it is quite a secular. Why this entire contention, or why people are talking about it? Because there was a lot of petition that was filed in the Supreme Court, wherein it was said that since they are also humans, right, and they have the right to live with dignity, with self-fulfillment, right, they need certain recognition in the society, certain respect. So that's why marriage needs to be legalized for them, right, so that they can legally marry and stay with, live with dignity, right? Under Article 21, right to life. Everyone has right to life, and that to live with dignity, right? Now, there's another point to it. There's another point also which has been raised. So basically, what happens in under Special Marriage Act, when a couple goes and register for the marriage, right? In that case, there is a notice that is made public. So there's a public notice that is released wherein it is mentioned that, okay, these are the people, these two people, they want to get married. If you have any objection to it, you can raise that objection within such and such date, right? Now, that has been opposed here. That is a point that has been raised here, saying that if you give such provision with regard to LGBTQ, in that case, there's a risk to their life, and there are a lot of risk to their respect, to their dignity also, because if such notice is released with regard to two people belonging to LGBTQ community, in that case, uh, there are chances of them getting subjected to certain violence, certain persecution, right? Certain discrimination. So that is again a point which Supreme Court will be taking upon. Now, again, here, what is important to us is rights, right? Special Marriage Act, what kind of rights do they need? All of this is important. Of course, as an aware citizen, we should be aware of all these. Other than that, talking about Special Marriage Act, uh, as I told you, this is a secular law in our country, right? Sort of, and does not apply to any particular religion. It is not governed by any personal law, be it Hindu, be it Muslim, be it Christian, be it any religion. People can marry under a Special Marriage Act, irrespective of the religion or faith that they follow. Now, what is the situation in other countries? So there are countries like USA, Australia, Ireland, Switzerland. They all have legalized the LGBTQ marriages, right? So now India is also progressing. So I'm assuming that Indian Supreme Court will also come up with such judgment very soon. And recently, you would have seen a lot of, again, there are a lot of pointers that keep coming in the newspaper. There are people who would always there are certain arguments that keep popping every now and then. But there's a very beautiful thing that our Supreme Court is getting very progressive, right? And not just with regard to this, there are a lot of judgments that we will actually discuss in our due course of time, and you will see how strong, how powerful our Supreme Court judges are, and how progressive they are when it comes to, pronouncing these judgments. So I'm sure being a law student, you will enjoy that. Third one for the day is with regard to the freedom of speech of MLAs and MPs. You must have heard, or you must have thought at some point of time for sure, that these MPs and MLAs, they keep speaking rubbish against each other, or they keep getting into arguments, or they just say whatever they want to at times, which makes no sense, right? Especially in the parliament and all, in the house. If you have seen such sessions on television or on internet, you would, I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that you would have sometime this would have come to your mind. What's happening? I mean, do they even, I mean, are they practicing freedom of speech in excess? So recently, there is this Supreme Court, there was a Supreme Court bench wherein it was said that there is no reason of imposing additional restriction to the freedom of speech expression to the ministers, to the MPs and MLAs, right? So this case was Kaushal Kishore versus State of UP, very important. So there was this case of Bullshit wherein the minister basically said that an incident was political conspiracy and nothing else. Yeah, so that was a sort of defaming statement for the government, for the state, right? And I mean, calling any incident that too was very grave, and calling it as political conspiracy. So there was a lot of again controversy that already started against it. So the question that was raised in Supreme Court was whether restriction can be imposed on a public functionary's right to freedom of speech and expression. Right? So, again, the very important question that has to be raised here, and the Supreme Court gave us a judgment where it was said that even if there is a statement that is given by MPs and MLAs that is against the state affair, right? In that case, also they should not be legally responsible. Now, where is it coming from? They have these parliamentary people. They have parliamentary privileges wherein they get protection from whatever they say within those four walls, right? So whatever they say in that house, right? If even if it is defamatory or it is against the government or any of that, they will not be punished for that because they get protection, that to constitutional protection. So that is where this question arose. to what extent the site actually goes for, right? So Supreme Court basically claimed that, listen, even if there's anything against state affairs, government, I mean, that would still not be liable to that. And if there is any statement that is made by minister, if it is somehow inconsistent with the rights of the people, right? Rights under Article 19 or right under Article 21. In that case also, just because it is going somewhere against to the people's right does not mean that it should come into action, right? So that was clarified very much by the Supreme Court. Next is Supreme Court safety. I'm not sure how much aware you are about the current scenario, but in India, out of all the countries, India is one of the top countries wherein the number of road accident has upsurged to great heights. All right. So our Chief Justice, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, he has taken this matter into hand, and now they are there to enforce certain action against regarding Motor Vehicle Act. So regarding road accident and regarding vehicles and all of that, we have a law called Motor Vehicle Act 1988, wherein there is this provision under 136A, which basically talks about using certain technology to ensure that road accidents can be prevented. Now, what has happened? There are certain rules that are being framed under Motor Vehicle Act, wherein now they are taking the help of, they are planning to take the help of technology. They are planning to make the rules in such a way that they can monitor the road accidents electronically through CCTV cameras, through speed cameras, right? All of these. And basically to ensure that they can reduce the number of road accidents that are taking place, right? Next one is about demonetization. Who does not know about demonetization in India, right? So there were certain 500 notes and 1,000 rupee notes that we used to have, and they got demonetized overnight, right, by the current government. And of course, that happened, everything happened. Now we are used to our new 2000 pink color notes and all of that. However, this matter went to the court in order to see whether this action was constitutionally valid or not. Right? It should not, any action that is taken by government should not go against the constitutional principles. So this matter was pending before Supreme Court, and finally a judgment has arrived. And that too, the judges have, I mean, the court has given, the bench has given the judgment with 4:1 majority, which means 4 judges validated it. There was one judge who was against it, right? So basically, that was a background wherein overnight rupees 500 and 1,000 was denied to be a legal tender. Legal tender means that money, that currency that you have, that is a legal tender. Legal tender means it is written there that such note should be used for the transaction, right? So if you want 2,000 rupees for me, I can give that 2,000 rupee note to you, because that has now become a legal tender, right? So you cannot refuse to take that note from me, saying no, I do not believe that you are giving me 2,000 rupees, because now since it is a legal tender, you can now believe that yes, I am giving you that 2,000 rupees, right? Because that note is a legal tender, it is recognized by the governor, RBI governor, right? So why was it done? Basically to ensure that the fake currency issue can be curbed and black money can be taken care of, it can be reduced, right? So it has come up with a judgment and it has validated it. Now, how does it validate? How government decides that okay, particular decision which was taken by the government is valid or not? It is through proportionality. It is through reasonable nexus, which means that the objective for which it was done and the means that they wanted to achieve, whether both of them are on the same lines or not, right? So objective here was to curb the fake currency, to reduce the black money issue, right? And what was the mean? The mean was demonetization. So could demonetization lead us to such objective? So Supreme Court found yes, it could. It had the potential. Of course, it could not to a larger extent, but that is an economic issue, right? We are not here for economics discussion. We are here for the legal discussion. So I will be sticking myself to only test of proportionality and the reasonable nexus issue. Right, so it has now been validated. So if there is any person who is having 500 rupee note or 1000 rupee note, right, so any person should be prohibited from taking such notes into their uh, uh, having such notes or using those notes or transferring those notes, right, because now it is no more illegal and our laws. Next one is again very, very progressive project of Supreme Court, and which is about digitalization of the Supreme Court reports. So in short, it is called ESCR project, basically Electronic Supreme Court Reports. So what happens? You must have seen advocates having these thick books of judgments, right? They have all over, I mean, they have those books all over their places everywhere, and you get a feeling, okay, this is a lawyer, right? And we basically flaunt it also, right? So of course you'll also get to that time, but I'm sure by the time you will graduate, you will find all these reports in e-format. E-format means in PDF format, because that is what Supreme Court is doing now. Now Supreme Court has launched this project wherein all the Supreme reports and judgments and everything, right, that lawyers and advocates, they get the mota book, all of that will now be converted into the PDF format. 1950, 2070 judgments, look at it, right? All these judgments will now be converted into digitalized soft copy, and that will be provided to the lawyers. So it will be a bit beneficial for the new upcoming lawyers also. Why? Because they would not need to spend a lot of money, because those books are really very expensive, right? So it takes a lot of pocket there. So it would actually help a lot of people, and it will actually help you guys also when you will go to college, because you'll get all the access to all those judgments, all those books, all those reports, Supreme Court reports, right? That too in the e-format. And since you'll get that in the digitized copy in PDF format, so it will sort of, it will be very convenient for people. It will make it a bit, at par situation with all the lists, right? So yes, that was very progressive step that is being taken by the Supreme Court. In due time, we'll study about it. Supreme Court is actually doing a lot of things, especially since our Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud has taken the position. We are seeing a lot of improvements, a lot of developments, basically, on the technological front, right? Since the entire country is advancing technologically, we can see that our Supreme Court is also advancing technologically, and we're expecting a lot of things. Of course, I'll discuss about all those developments also. एक दिन में कितने सारे हम कर ले. Of course, you need to remember all these details. I'm sure you found this session very informative. Very important session. I mean, all these areas are very, very important. I pick up those areas only which are very important from your exams perspective in order to save your time, right? Keep it very crisp, to the point. And yes, if you want, you can come back and can revise whenever you feel so, right? I would suggest right after the session, once you finish the session, just sit down for 2 minutes and think about what do we just discuss about, right? Just make a map in your mind. Just, it will hardly take 1 minute or 2 minutes of yours, but that will pay off really huge interest at the end, right? So just do that 1 or 2 minute exercise. If you want, you can summarize in the comment section below for your practice, and you can make notes of it in your paper, or just comment that note in the comment section. I'm sure that will help you out a lot, right? And I'll keep coming up with these kind of sessions very frequently, because I know it's very, very important for your examination, for making that legal base for yourself, right? It will help you in your GK plus in your legal reasoning section. So subscribe to this channel if you want to get an update for the further session when I come. Press that bell icon also, so that whenever I come up with these sessions, you get a notification and you're able to watch it. These sessions should not be missed at all, right? Very important to be consistent with this throughout the year. I'm going to be consistent with this throughout the year. You're going to get my session till your examination, right? I'm going to handhold you with this for sure. And if you have any questions, if you have anything that you need, that you feel you need more explanation for, please put it in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to help you out with this solution. Yes, thank you so much, guys. All the very best in the next session.